From ancient myths to modern science fiction, humanity has long been captivated by the idea of immortality. The quest for eternal life is woven into our stories, our beliefs, and our very DNA. But what was once a realm of fantasy is now becoming a tangible possibility, as scientific breakthroughs edge us closer to understanding the mechanisms of aging. We stand on the precipice of a future where death is no longer an inevitability, but a choice. The question is, are we ready for a world without endings? The pursuit of immortality is not merely about extending lifespan, but about extending our potential. It's about conquering disease, unlocking the secrets of the human body, and ultimately transcending the limitations that have defined our existence for millennia. The implications are staggering, touching every aspect of our society, our planet, and our very understanding of what it means to be human. As we delve into the uncharted territory of life extension, we must proceed with both caution and audacity, for the choices we make today will determine the fate of our species tomorrow. The promise of immortality is a double-edged sword, offering both unprecedented opportunities and unparalleled challenges. It is our responsibility to approach this new frontier with wisdom, foresight, and a deep respect for the delicate balance of life itself. The quest to conquer aging has led scientists down many paths, exploring a variety of cutting-edge technologies. Telomere extension, a process that focuses on lengthening the protective caps at the ends of our chromosomes, holds promise for slowing down cellular aging. CRISPR gene editing offers the potential to correct genetic defects that contribute to age-related diseases, essentially rewriting the blueprint of life itself. Meanwhile, regenerative medicine aims to repair and replace damaged tissues and organs, effectively turning back the clock on the wear and tear of time.
These breakthroughs, while still in their early stages, offer a tantalizing glimpse into a future where aging is no longer an inevitability. Imagine a world where diseases like cancer and Alzheimer's are eradicated, where organ failure is a thing of the past, and where the human lifespan is extended indefinitely. This is the future that scientists are striving for, a future where the limitations of our biology no longer dictate the course of our lives.
However, the path to such a future is fraught with challenges. Ethical concerns abound, as do questions of access and affordability. The potential for unintended consequences is ever present, as we tinker with the very fabric of life itself. But the quest for longevity is unlikely to be deterred, driven by a fundamental human desire to overcome our mortality and unlock the secrets of a longer, healthier life. The potential for a world where only the wealthy can afford to live forever raises profound ethical questions about equality and social justice. Imagine a society where the rich and powerful can essentially buy their way out of death, leaving the rest of humanity to grapple with the limitations of our current lifespans. Such a scenario could exacerbate existing inequalities, creating a world of haves and have-nots defined not just by wealth, but by time itself.
The prospect of an immortality divide raises fundamental questions about the very nature of our humanity. If the ability to live forever becomes just another commodity, accessible only to those with the means to purchase it, what does that say about our values as a society?
Will we allow ourselves to become further stratified along economic lines? Or will we find a way to ensure that the fruits of life extension are shared equitably? These are not easy questions to answer, but they are questions that we must confront as we venture further down the path of life extension. The decisions we make today will have far-reaching consequences for generations to come, shaping the very fabric of our society and defining the legacy of our species.
As we grapple with the ethical and societal implications of biological immortality, another form of eternal life is emerging on the horizon: digital immortality.
This concept envisions a future where our consciousness can be uploaded to a computer, allowing us to live on in a virtual realm even after our physical bodies have ceased to exist.
Proponents of this idea argue that it could provide a form of immortality that is accessible to all, regardless of wealth or social status.
Imagine a world where we can interact with loved ones long after they are gone, or continue to learn and grow in a virtual environment free from the limitations of our physical forms.
This is the promise of digital immortality, a concept that is both exhilarating and unsettling in its implications.
While the technology to upload a human consciousness is still far from reality, The very idea forces us to confront fundamental questions about the nature of consciousness, identity, and the soul.
Is a digital copy of our minds truly us, or merely a sophisticated simulation?
And what are the ethical implications of creating a world where death is no longer a certainty, but a choice that can be made or postponed indefinitely?
These are questions that will require careful consideration as we navigate the uncharted waters of digital immortality.
Achieving immortality, whether biological or digital, comes with a host of potential risks and ethical dilemmas. Overpopulation is a major concern, as a world without death could quickly become unsustainable for a species that reproduces as we do. Resource depletion, environmental degradation, and social unrest are just a few of the challenges we would face in a world where death is no longer a regulating force. Furthermore, the very concept of life's purpose is thrown into question in a world without endings. If we are no longer bound by the finite nature of our existence, what motivates us to achieve, to create, to leave our mark on the world? The fear of death, for all its negative connotations, has also been a driving force behind many of humanity's greatest achievements. Would we lose our sense of urgency, our drive to make the most of the time we have, if we knew that time was limitless? These are just a few of the ethical quandaries we must grapple with as we contemplate a future where immortality is within reach. The quest to extend life is a noble one, but it is a quest that must be undertaken with a keen awareness of the potential consequences, both intended and unintended. Imagine a world where generations no longer pass, where the accumulation of knowledge and experience continues unabated, where the very concept of time takes on a new meaning. This is the world that immortality promises, a world both exhilarating and daunting in its implications. In such a world, the relationship between generations would be fundamentally altered. Imagine families spanning centuries, with children growing up alongside their great-great-great-grandparents. The transfer of knowledge would be transformed as wisdom and experience accumulate over lifetimes instead of being lost with each passing generation. The pace of life itself might slow down as the urgency of mortality fades into the background. However, a world without endings also raises the specter of stagnation. Would we become complacent, risk-averse, and resistant to change in a world where the status quo could persist indefinitely? Would the vibrancy of human ambition, the drive to explore and discover, be diminished in a world without limits? These are the questions that haunt the edges of our immortality dreams. The prospect of immortality is both alluring and terrifying. It represents the ultimate triumph over nature, the fulfillment of a desire that has been with us since the dawn of consciousness. But it also challenges our very understanding of what it means to be human. To live forever is to step outside the natural order, to transcend the boundaries that have defined our existence for millennia. It is a prospect that fills us with both awe and trepidation. As we stand on the cusp of this new frontier, we are faced with a fundamental choice: to embrace the unknown or to cling to the familiar rhythms of life and death that have shaped our species for eons. The decision is not one to be taken lightly, for it will determine the fate of humanity for generations to come. It is a decision that will require all our wisdom, our courage, and our compassion to make wisely. The quest for immortality is ultimately a quest to understand ourselves and our place in the universe. It is a journey of discovery, both scientific and spiritual, that will challenge our assumptions, test our limits, and force us to confront the deepest questions about life, death, and the meaning of existence itself. The answers, when they come, will likely be as profound and unsettling as the questions themselves.